Having solitude while improving yourself will boost that journey. Being alone will make you improve so much faster than when you have people around you that don't want to improve, that want to stay where they are. In 2022, I started self improvement. I started reading, meditating, learning, and almost none of my friends did any of these habits. So I just slowly started growing apart from these friends until there was one friend left. And I always tried to push him onto self improvement. Yeah, you need to do this, you need to do this, your life is gonna become so much better. And he slightly got on to self improvement and then he went off and then he came on and then he went off. And I didn't see improvement in myself until I actually grew apart from that friend. When I kind of left him. In that year, I swear I made so much progress. And all of that came from just leaving a friend. Imagine two guys on bikes. One of them is alone and the other has a friend with him. Who do you think will reach the destination faster and easier? It's the person without a friend holding him back, without the extra weight, without the extra mental luggage. This example you might see as too far fetched, but it's true. If you imagine someone who wants to improve, he wants to leave all the bad habits, he wants to leave gaming, scrolling, social media, all of these things, he wants to leave them. But he has friends that only do these habits. What do you think will that person do? He'll read, he'll stop playing video games for a time, and then he'll return because he needs to be that person, the person that plays video games and is always on social media, to be able to sit with that friend group. And that's why I told you, when I improved, I saw myself growing apart from my friends. The person wants to change, but he has to stay the same for his friends. So you need to choose. Do you want to actually improve and become something? Or do you want to stay mediocre, a normal average person? And I know the argument that everyone makes that why should I leave my friend? I love him, he's this and this, like I can improve that with him. This is true. But when you leave him, or you don't even leave him, you just make some distance between you and him, and then try to improve for a while, you will find that it's so much easier because you're not sitting with a person who does the habits. When you sit with someone who does the video games, who plays video games, you will want to play video games. And when you sit with him, you'll see yourself. This is where the self image comes in. You'll see yourself as a person who plays video games, or you'll see yourself as a person whose friends play video games. And that self image, oops, and that self image will eventually lead you to playing video games again. So you need to separate yourself from your friends so that your self image is only yours. It's not affected by your friends. In my opinion, some people just put you down. They say negative things. And I believe that if you remove all of the people that tell you you can't do this, you can't do that, you will reach so much in your life. Like everyone as a child says, yeah, I want to do this, I want to become the best soccer player in the world, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I believe that the only people that reach those goals are the people who don't listen to what others say. But not everyone can just dismiss what the people say. So you need to lower those thoughts, those negative comments as much as you can. And most of these negative comments, even though you probably won't admit it or you probably don't even realize it, come from your friends. Oh yeah, you're fat. Yeah, yeah, fatso. I know this because I used to say this to some of my friends. You won't do that, you can't do that, you're fat. Like all of these things, I'm not proud of it. And I didn't even realize I did it until I focused a little bit. And many of your friends probably do this to you. So you need to again make a choice. Do you want to improve? Do you want to actually be something? Or do you want to stay mediocre? Imagine if, for example, you sit with a group of millionaires and you converse and you say some ideas and they say something and you're just talking, the conversation is flowing. Imagine after you finish this conversation, you'll go out of the room and you'll be like, yeah, I had a very good productive conversation with people who are of value. And that means that I'm of value too. If I gave them ideas, that means that, yeah, I'm something. I can be a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. Your mind will see it in a couple of different ways, but the main idea is that your mind will see you as a millionaire because you're sitting with millionaires. A fish won't be seen sitting with ducks. No, a fish will be with fish, and birds will be with birds. Birds of a feather flock together. If you sit with the millionaires, you'll see yourself as a millionaire. If you sit with the athletes, you'll see yourself as an athlete. This is how it goes. But if you're sitting with gamers, you'll see yourself as a gamer. And then you won't be able to do the habits. You won't be able to succeed. If you sit with the smokers, you will eventually see yourself as a smoker, and most probably you will start smoking. And that's something I see in my generation a lot in my school. People who just, yeah, I will never smoke. But then a week later, they've been sitting with a group of people who smoke, and now they smoke. Like, why do you do this? Now, this is an extreme example, but it's actually the same. People who game, it's a little bit less intense. Yeah, you're ruining yourself, but not that much. But imagine if you're on the other side, you're sitting with athletes. They're talking about how to eat healthy, how to be healthy. Imagine if you sit with this group for a year, you will become much more athletic even if you don't realize it. Again, do you want to become better or do you want to stay mediocre? The last thing I will say is that this video, I probably didn't go into details because if I went into the details, this video will be an hour long. But the main idea still stands. If you sit with people who are losers, you'll eventually become a loser. But if you want to win in life, you don't sit with the losers, you sit with the winners. Or you sit with yourself. And that's what I preach. I believe that if you just sit with yourself for a year, you'll learn so much. You'll become a man because you learn how to live alone. It's not every day that you will find someone who helps you. You need to learn how to be alone. And for your information, if you have good friends that are improving, stay with them. Like I said, you want to be with the winners. If your friends are already winners, stay with them. Don't leave them. Because these friends you won't find again. You need to stay with the winners.